see if we can make this work. Well, we're having some fun in the morning. We're having some fun today. We're sharing all our gratitude, 'cause that's how we say I love you by sharing the good things in our heart. I say I love you, and that is just a start. Can we get a love morning going now? Sharing gratitude for all. I don't care if you're a big person, teeny tiny or tall. It's love morning. Good morning. I think we're working. Are we? Yes. All right. Good morning. Welcome to Love Morning. I am John Halcyon Stinn. I think I'm in this camera. Trying a new broadcast system. I got a separate computer doing the broadcast today. Oh, which means the microphone needs to come over here. If you were here yesterday and the days before, you've seen that we've had a chapter of technical difficulties. So hopefully today will be perfect. They're all perfect. Just some of them have technical snags or lags or other things that rhyme with flags. Good morning, Bill. Good to see you. Happy November 27th. My goodness. That means it's my colonoscopy week. So I want to urge everyone to be aware of the importance of colon health and the need to, at a certain age, you should check and get a colonoscopy. This will be my first. So I'm saying that not because I have experience knowing how important it is to colonoscopy, but because that's what people I trust have told me. I sang a song to Lisa last night. I don't know what it sounded like, but I know the lyrics were something like, "We're on a quest for something good. We're looking for polyps in my butt. Trying to find out if we've got some polyps. I don't know for what." Polyps? I think that's what they're called. Nothing like a little romance. Actually, that's not how the song went at all. I sang it like a love song about polyps. Good morning. Good morning, Brent. Good morning, Jennifer. Good morning, Terry. If you are here live, would love to say hello to you. Good morning, Gerbot. Good morning, Joyous. Good morning, Razorblade. Thank you, Gerbot. We are using the Logitech camera and the older Mac laptop to broadcast, and I am speaking to you in comments and chat on the new M1 laptop. And it would be so embarrassing. Like, I have the old laptop under the table in an end table with a blanket, a heavy blanket over the end table so that you can't hear the fan of the overheating old laptop. It's not what you would call professional looking. But can you argue with how much better this is working than it, at least as far as appearance and sound, than yesterday? I don't think so. Jennifer saying, "I refuse a colonoscopy and a mammogram. I've lived a good life." I'm sure I understand that, but I can appreciate that. I am not getting daily or yearly checks for skin cancer. I know that there's certainly an argument in favor of not knowing things that might be killing you, and that sometimes mindset about illness can be more damaging than actual illness. I know that when I got my 23andMe information about my ancestry from genetics, they said, "Here's what you have markers for predispositions for certain health things." And I said, I'm not opening it. I don't want to, in my mind, think that there's a good chance that I'm going to get blank, and then have those thoughts in my mind and worry about them. So I didn't look. It's funny, I'm wearing, I don't know if anyone else knows this, I'm wearing some different earrings today. Instead of the wood hoops I always wear, I put these little white plugs in. And as soon as I see my face, it looks wrong. Like I'm so used to the big earrings that my face looks like the proportions are off. I'm like, oh, what's wrong? What are you grateful for today? I would love to hear what you are grateful for. Jason is grateful for art grants. Gearbot saying whatever works. Good point. I am definitely at that stage of what? Look, I'm tired of like there's nothing worse feeling than inviting you to come join me in this broadcast and then and the audio is not working and people are going, something's wrong. It's like putting out invitations to a party and then the hors d'oeuvre tray spills all over the ground. That's exactly what it's like. Thank you, Terry, and good morning. Oh, there's multiple Terrys. Pink Heart Terry, or Burning Man Terry, I should say, and Terry Carpenter. Terry Carpenter says, I'm grateful for all of the grandbabies and the new one on the way. Yay. Lovely. I am grateful for a big step for me today. I launched my Love Ambassador Summit. So I put up, I'll put the link in. I put a post on Facebook and Instagram describing it, and I made live this program that I'm going to do a in-person workshop and dance party on January 13th and 14th in San Diego. And just like 12 people. It's going to be intimate and small. And the big kicker is the workshops are going to be sober, but we're going to go out dancing to the Pink Heart fundraiser on Saturday night. And I'm going to ask everyone to not drink or get intoxicated. And so we're going to play with socializing and dancing and gifting and being out in the world from a clear headspace, which for some people is probably their normal thing. And I'm hoping that they have things to share as we come together. And for me, it's a new thing. But within this new thing, I'm finding that there's real edges and real benefits to the personal growth path. So and since it's exactly where I'm at, I feel like it's the richest area for learning and for teaching. And that's what I'm interested in bringing together, people who can learn and teach one another. Painey says, I'm grateful for Stay Sparked. Thanks, Painey. I think we're going to record another one tomorrow. That's our plan. We've had a pause since Yanis had a baby. And as he's been adjusting to life with a little one, a gorgeous little being, we've put a little pause for a few weeks as he's kind of settled in. And so that's very exciting. Gearbot says, I'm grateful for safe spaces like this one to learn and grow. Thanks, Gearbot. Me too. That was kind of what I was writing about this morning and shared about, is that, I've learned that you can do a lot of personal growth by yourself. And there is a special kind of blossoming that can happen when you're in a container of radical acceptance and a place that celebrates authenticity. When you feel like what you reveal will be celebrated as long as it's true, even if it's dark, even if it's shameful, that if you can find a place where the truth is celebrated, it can dissolve the restrictions, the walls that your ego puts trying to protect you. And it's only when you can get through that stuff that you can start to nurture the places in you that need love. Jennifer saying safe spaces are so important. Yes. I think, what I heard a term. I'm not sure if I like the term safe spaces. Maybe I should re-edit it. I heard the term brave spaces, because I don't want to create a space where this expectation is safety. Like, you will not hear anything that offends you. Because that means it's not safe to say what your truth is. What if you're afraid of offending someone, or you're afraid of saying the wrong thing? What if your truth is, and I'll say it myself, like, my authentic, real truth is that due to my upbringing in this society, there is deep societal racism that occasionally comes up, and I catch myself going, whoa, you just had a thought of you heard a term and you associated it with something, or like I noticed myself a couple years ago. I would see an African American driving a super nice car, and my thought was, I wonder what they do for a living. But I didn't have the same thought if I saw a white person doing it. And it's because of my early childhood experiences when we had bused schooling. So the African American people that I knew all were bused in from the other side of the city and were in from a different socioeconomic path. So I made an association that less money, and that's problematic. However, if I'm afraid that I say something like that, then someone will jump on me for being a racist. That might be a safe space for the person who doesn't want to be racist, but it doesn't encourage me to be brave with my truth. As I said that here, I'm like, oh, I hope I don't say this in a way that offends somebody or someone judges me. Because you have to be able to feel safe enough to be brave with your truth, even knowing like this is something that I want to let go of, or I want to work through, whether that is self-judgment, whether it is judgment of others, whether that is weakness, or trauma. You have to feel a place that it's bravery is encouraged. Penny saying agrees with the idea about safe spaces. I mean, yeah, thank you. Jennifer says we have a lot of unlearning to do as a society. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's a daunting path. Joyce says, echo that. Today I'm most grateful for growth and illuminations of truth. Living is learning. And Pierre is here in Amsterdam. Guten Morgen. Good to see you. I am grateful for the daily gratitude circles in Zoom that I participate in. And yesterday I got to see people from around the world gathering, people that often gather via webcam, but several of the groups had gathered in person. There was a group in Barcelona that was all together socializing. There's a group in Austin. And then there was the rest of us who were solo around the world, but coming together. So I'm grateful for the way that these tools allow us to create community, regardless of geography. Good morning, Nick. And Terry says, yes. Terry Carpenter, yes, I always find myself holding back from my truth. I think that's the journey of the rest of our lives, is discerning how much of who we are is a result of the outside coming in, the shoulds, the socialization, the expectations, and how much of it is inside out. How much of it is our true selves? How much of it is the divine inspiration? How much of it is our personality, our uniqueness? And we have to continue doing discernment about that for our whole lives. And related to, the Pink Path or this Ambassador Summit, that's a huge part of all of my personal work and public work, is that process, that journey of discernment and of challenging and doing inquiry. Wait, is this me? Where did this come from? Is this something that I've absorbed as something that is real and true, or is this something that is my essence? And I found that for me, sometimes in the really challenging parts of those questions, I would sometimes use chemicals to soothe them over, or to avoid looking at the places that were real hard. So that's part of this summit, is going to be acknowledging that and trying to be extra nourishing for one another. Good morning, Thalia. She says, I'm grateful for friends who are like family. Yay. Razorblade says, I'm grateful for this beautiful, moody storm outside. Luann says, I am grateful for my garden, a safe and honest place that I cherish. It will be missed as it sleeps over the winter and very much loved in the spring. Oh, what a beautiful description of your garden. I am grateful for this time of year in San Diego where it's sunny but not too hot. I went on a bike ride yesterday with Lisa. She's left town this morning at like 4 a.m. to go do some work in Santa Barbara the next few days. But I'm so grateful that I got a chance to have some really present, focused time with her yesterday, including a little bike ride around the block in the cool air but the sunshine. And I am grateful for my colonoscopy coming up. I'm grateful that I am in my white food phase. So the diet, it's not about being healthy. It's about nothing with any color to it. So it messes with their testing. And nothing that's fibrous. So no seeds, no nuts, no vegetables. So I have got like white pasta and rice, and you can have meat. So I have chicken and ice cream, cottage cheese. My meal last night was like, Lisa had leftovers and I made her a salad with, so she had this like greens and reds and purples and oranges, and I had white, which normally is a good indication that you're not eating very healthy. Now, luckily, sugar and salt and everything are fine, so it looks bland, it still can taste pretty good. Although I'm preparing for, I told Lisa, I go, well, I am embracing my dairy over the next few days, so it's probably a good idea that you're not going to be around. Meaning I will be flatulent. Good morning, Chris. Chris says, props for the courage to use the tools. May the betterment of all be the guiding mystery wave. Find peace in the symphony. Thanks, Chris. Christopher says, grateful for the great food from the holiday. Looking forward to healthy choices this week. Good on ya. And thank you for sharing the beautiful images of what's outside your window. That was gorgeous to see the different, how different a little snow outside the window is than what I see. Who else has got something that they're grateful for? I am grateful for, keep coming back to grateful I am to Lisa. Lisa has been giving me so much beautiful support and feedback on this summit that I launched. Everything from content, and like she'd say, hey, this word, this kind of throws me a little bit, or I think you need a space here. And it's nice to have a second set of eyes that I really trust. Good morning, Mick. Happy love morning to you. Mick shares that they're grateful for their husband. Thanks, Mick. Yeah, I am feeling very grateful for my partner. I was describing I asked a friend for some feedback on the summit idea, and we were talking about my journey of the last 9 months of being without intoxicants, and I have to acknowledge that being in this loving relationship is intimately tied to that journey. And on one hand, I would not have been at a place where I could be open to this relationship and this partnership if I had not been in the space of inner work and inner healing and self-awareness, and also in pride. Like, because I was in control of my choices, I felt good enough about myself to ask out an exceptional woman. But also, the awareness that this partnership, could be in jeopardy if I make bad decisions is super motivating. Like, it's not even like there's no way I would do something that would jeopardize this relationship. So it's a helpful in I wouldn't have the relationship without sobriety. I don't know how easy sobriety would be without the relationship. Yes, Lisa is beautiful. I agree, Terry. She is a blessing in so many ways for me. Pierre says, I am grateful for those I have surrounded myself with. Awesome. That is a great thing to be able to say. Well, we're going to do a hug in just a moment. But if you have anything else that you are grateful for, you would like to share. I am grateful for my communication with Lisa. Last night, she brought to the conversation, says, is there anything that you are holding on to? Or is there anything that is hard for you to say? Or that you don't want to tell me? Which I think is such a good prompt, because it's so easy to have a little thing like, oh, I was worried about this, or I'm having like, I'm bordering on resentment about that, or I wish you would have done that, and we've been really good, but just like allowing, like, you want to keep the box empty of possible resentment or dishonesty or withholding. You want, because once you start putting things in the box of resentment and dishonesty, it just starts multiplying. And so we addressed a couple things that were like a little uncomfortable, and by talking them through, I think they are dissolved. I admire her for having the courage to risk discomfort, in the momentary discomfort, in the pursuit of deep connection. Good morning, Carolyn. Carolyn says, I'm grateful for my new love of persimmon, blended lemon water, and field trips with my tiny people. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And thank you, Terry. I should say, I've been very careful not to use the word sobriety, because people that are in 12-step programs or often explain that sobriety means clean and chemically free, and I'm not living clean. I am living without my daily intoxication habits, and actually no intoxication according to what I call intoxication, which is ketamine, GHB, and alcohol. I'm starting to become a little bit more courageous in speaking about ketamine, because I'm hearing more and more people having significant issues with it, and I don't think I hear a lot of people talking publicly about the dangers of ketamine. I hear a lot of people talking about how it's, in therapeutic setting, it can be really helpful. There's also a lot of people that cross the line from therapeutic into dependency. It goes from a tool to a crutch without realizing it, and for a lot more people than I think people know. And that was my experience. And so initially I've been careful not to admit to having a ketamine problem, but I'm feeling braver about it, because I feel like it's important to be honest. And as I am more honest, I am learning that there are more and more examples of people who have had problems, and pretty significant. So I am grateful for this safe space, or this brave space, as I should say. And I'm grateful for the support and communication here. I will remind you again, I have launched my thing in January. So if you want to attend, or you know somebody who think, you know what, I have a friend who's kind of playing with edges of being sobriety-ish, and they're struggling with does that mean they can't go dancing anymore, or how do they integrate that? Then they might be somebody who you send them my link to this event, and maybe that there's somebody that wants to go. There's only 12 spots, So it's going to be intimate. But yeah, looking for some awesome folks who want to add to the vibe. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Jason. Yeah, Gerbot says, boo to the anti-chemical crowd. We are made of chemicals. Food is chemicals. Cooking is chemistry. I love those, like there's these memes that talk about common things but in chemical terms, like salt, and that it's deadly. And well, of course, everything's chemicals, and it's all about balance. You cannot get anything too out of whack. Any chemical out of whack can be problematic. Well, let's have a hug and head off into our days as love ambassadors, remembering. Oh, that's one more thing I was going to say. So I just saw this article in, I think, The Guardian, that there's this Swedish town that gets 3 hours of sunlight. So to combat depression in this little town, they have this Hello campaign where they're encouraging people to be love ambassadors, that their public, health initiative is encouraging people to say hello more often, to live like it's a small town, to fight loneliness through actively being love ambassadors and saying hello to their neighbors. Now, they didn't use the term love ambassadors, but we know what they're talking about. So I encourage you to don't wait till you have a 3 hours of daylight in a Swedish town, but to say hello to your neighbors and encourage small town friendliness wherever you are. And it will make a difference in your life and the lives of all those that you touch with your beautiful light. So good morning. And wherever you are, let's give ourselves a big squeeze. And appreciating this body that we're in, appreciating all the experiences and the sensations, appreciating the little moments of our lives that we've heard from one another, the little bits of gratitude, training us to focus on gratitude, training us to see how much there is to be grateful for, to celebrate as we go through our lives on this incredibly fertile, beautiful planet. So let's take a deep breath in and squeeze one another. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and you, beautiful love ambassador, thank you for being here for this love morning. Have an incredible day. I love you. Jen says, I'm grateful for my 9th sober from alcohol and Thanksgiving. Even had to fast for 2 days to work on the sugar habit. Balance is key. Big hugs. Well done, Jen. Good morning, Danielle. Thank you. And Rue. All right. Thank you so much. Hugs all day long, I hope. Bye, everyone. Okay, now here's where I have a problem. I got to go under this blanket and desk to turn this off. So let's see if I can do this elegantly. Too late.